Just a friendly reminder, please silence your cell phones. No video. Remember, no video. Everything can be found at NCAA.com Veritone. And also a difference if Florida State's going first, because there's a policy that changed during elimination games of have the winning team go first. Yep.
A little different feeling than Dalton. They're going to need to talk to you after this.
Coach, congratulations on the victory today. If you could open us up with a opening statement, please.
To explain the feeling of sitting up here Friday night is not something I can remotely relay to you. This team's response of playing arguably the best game we've played this year pretty much sums up what's in that dugout. And it's not easy to go to bed after that. It's not a pleasant day. And to watch them play their best game, that was just a thrill I'll never forget here. And I've had some. That was beyond an experience I've had here, and just the response. And it's hard to say that, wow, you guys have responded all year. Look, that's just your team. Well, when you're in this, it doesn't always tee itself up for you to just go respond. You have to execute in every phase of the game. The starting pitcher has to command his stuff. It's got to be good enough stuff to handle the best offensive team, or one of the top two in the country in terms of their ability to bat the ball skills and athleticism. He had all 4 pitches going. Fastball, curveball, he landed. Your slider was good, and the changeup. And when he has all of that early and finds it and goes with it, it's exactly what you saw. And when you face those guys in Charlotte, it was a little different story. So just the toughness to deal with how that relief appearance went in Charlotte that was not good, and to respond today with that performance against that team, pretty remarkable. I think Brian is one of the classiest people in the business. That is a model program. There's certain programs, as you're trying to figure out what you're doing in coaching, that you look to duplicating the things they have done. And that's an A-plus coaching staff, their team, front line. They play the game the right way. So, again, hats off to them. It's not easy. It's not easy to be in this stadium this time of year, and they clearly are regulars. I thought the fifth inning, we talk about self-contained relief. If you're going to start games and get through enough of it to really make this a start, I thought the fifth, when he went F7, hit by pitch, walk, right? Great play in center field by Williams to lay in on the little soft fly ball, and then an L6, and that's becoming your own relief pitcher. If you can't do that, you're not going to be in the conversation to pitch 6 or 7 or 8 innings of a game. So huge. And I think sometimes the momentum that you gain from getting out of it on the field, you come right in, and we had a really good bottom of the fifth. There were 2 outs and nobody on, if I'm not mistaken, and Cam hits the ball and turned into a double. And then Tibbs, I think they walked Tibbs, and Marco had the 2-strike hit. Nice job by Ty McGahee of slowing it down. He sensed Marco was getting a little bit frustrated and used an offensive visit, which was really well done on his part. And then Ferrer hits another home run. So I thought the fifth inning was really the turning point in the game. Lodis, nice home run. And then Oxford again. Think about how that kid felt leaving here Friday when you've waited your whole life. You've been in 2 programs, and you wait your whole life to step on that mound. And he had to deal with what he had to deal with in that game, and we should have won that game. And his response to be better, his stuff was actually better. Really, really proud of him and happy for him. Good play at second, 2 good plays at short, really 3 good plays at shortstop. Really nice play at third base, a nice diving play. And then, Ferrer made a nice running catch towards the foul line, and clearly probably didn't need to slide for the one that kind of evaded him there late. That's enough for me. These guys did the real work today, but I'm proud of the response and the answer by this team. I don't know that I've ever been through anything like Friday night, and I haven't been a part of a response to something that I'd never seen on this stage before.
Thank you, Coach. We'll open questions for Jimmy and Carson. First question, Aaron. We'll go right here.
Aaron Fitt, you in baseball. Carson, for you, obviously, you clearly have respect for the Virginia offense and what they're capable of. You saw it firsthand. Curious, first off, how you adjusted your approach against them. I know it's different when you're starting, what has been the key for you to kind of unlock the success you've had during these 3 postseason weeks here?
I mean, yeah, today we had these guys behind us the whole time, making great plays the whole game, but being able to have more than just the fastball working and trusting in those pitches is what really made the difference between today and the last time.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. Jaime, can you speak a little bit about your second at-bat, the home run there, and just tell us a little bit about your approach today and how you really were able to take advantage of a really big moment there for your team?
Yeah, I was just trying to see something up. He struck me out of the at-bat before on all heaters, and I felt like I was still on the heater, so I was trying to be fastball timing, and I was trying to see something up, and I saw a slider up out of the hand, and I was able to get enough of it to get out of the ballpark. I mean, during BP today, we noticed a lot of balls were leaving the park if they were elevated to left field, and at the end of the day, you got to stick to your same approach. You got to, look for one pitch, and when you get it, you can't miss it. I think the team that does that more times than not will have a lot of success at the plate, and we had a few key hits, and being able to come out clutch for my team is awesome. We still get to dance, and we still get to play on Tuesday and compete for a national championship, which at the end of the day is everyone's goal here, and all 8 of these teams are championship caliber teams. So for us to come out here with a win means the entire world to us.
Yeah, Jaime, I know you homered on the first pitch against Will Folk in that 4th inning, but you guys worked a lot of long at-bats against him early. Was that a game plan going in against him to make him throw a lot of pitches early in the game?
No, not necessarily. I mean, at the end of the day, it's great to get the starting pitcher out of the game early, but the at-bats that we put up, like, for example, if I have Marco, Tibbs, Cam, and Max putting up long at-bats in front of me, it helps me at the end of the day because I get to see more pitches. I get to, get a scouting report from them as well. And, he's a great arm. And for us to be able to knock him out of the game early was huge for us. And yeah, just the game plan that we have and the trust that we have in each other is what helps us put up a big innings.
Brett Nevitt, Knowles 247. Carson, that seemed like one of the highest volume usage of the curveball for you today. Just how good did you feel with the curveball, and how far has that pitch come since you started working with Micah this season?
Yeah, we saw it worked early in the game, and we decided to stay with it. No change. What's working.
couple more questions for that.
Matt Talby from World Baseball Network. Jamie, what's it like to just see guys like Alex and also Cam getting it going for you guys in the 5th inning before you squared your second home run of tonight?
It's awesome. I always say that hitting is very contagious. So, when you see the guys in front of you that are putting up good at-bats and they're having success, it means that the game plans that we're going up to the plate with are working. And it gives us confidence. And, you don't want to be the guy that doesn't get a hit when everyone's getting hit. So, super contagious. We like to have fun. And seeing them in front of me gives us a lot of confidence and gives us a game plan. When they come back in the dugout, like I said, and we know how their fastball's looking that day because, the guy that you're facing isn't the same arm every day. One day he might have a little bit more life to his fastball. So kind of getting that feedback from them and kind of having mature guys in the lineup 1 through 9 is something that helps us a lot for sure.
Okay, last question for the student.
Jaime, just as one of the leaders of this team, just what was the emotions like yesterday after coming off of Friday, and what allows you guys to be able to respond the way you do?
No, it's hard. It was a hard loss on Friday, a game that we felt like we should have won late in that game. But for us to come back and have another opportunity to come out here and compete and play in front of these fans is a true blessing. It's something that we don't take for granted, and we have leaders 1 through 9 in the entire team. So for us to be out here to play and have another opportunity to play for a national championship is something that we don't take for granted. And yeah, we started 0-1, but we've seen teams that have done it. So we have that opportunity, so we're not going to take it for granted.
Players, thank you very much for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll open questions for Coach. We got the first one back here, then we'll go right here.
Darren Stoltz, this is Western News Orlando. Link, bear with me. It's kind of off the normal questions, but being here in that uniform, how much do you think about 11 when you see the jerseys everywhere, and how much do you think about your coach when you're coaching in Omaha?
A lot, and I hear his voice. Like, and there's things that, as the game's going, I kind of hear. You got to have somebody on the mound at the end of the game that you trust. If you remember one thing I've told you, let it be that. And then 3 hours later, he'd say, if I've ever told you one thing, don't get beat deep with it. It was on, and I just hear that all the time. And he's the best. Like, he's the best that's ever coached this sport at this level. This is a different game than when you watch the Yankees and the Red Sox play. And he mastered the art of coaching at this level. He did. So I hear it. I think about it. And it burns me up that I didn't participate in the games that won it for him. It's tough. I'm happy to be here, but I'm not going to be happy until we've delivered the result. There's plenty of teams that are here that have not answered and done it. I get it. But when you've been on that field so many times as a player and you walk out of there and you were empty at the end, it sticks with you. So my quest in coaching was to learn what to do to make sure that did not repeat itself for the guys on our team. So that's all you do. And then if that's not good enough, you can lay your head down knowing that you gave it all you had. And I hear his voice, and his voice meant so much, and it still does because I still hear it. And like I told you, I finally imitated him to him, and he was, oh my good, like he loved it. He loved it. So he's the best, and he laid the foundation for me in this game, and I didn't have anywhere to go. It was probably about this time in June when he told me I could be on the team at FSU as a senior, not as a sophomore and an eighth grader like the guys do now. So I could go on, but he's the best.
Right down here.
Mark Garland, College Baseball Central. Coach, did you guys do anything special in the off day there after the tough loss on Friday to kind of bounce back and get ready for today's game?
I came and watched my son throw batting practice and sat behind the first base dugout like a normal, I guess that's what a normal dad, maybe just something like that. My head ached. I cannot tell you how bad my head ached Friday night, Saturday. I cannot tell you. There's no way to dodge it. That's how bad you felt. We went to the Kiwanis, and the American Legion Service Club lunch. And as they were, it was great, like great. And it's just weird how stuff happens. They had, the games were coming on, so they had ESPN on the back, and the second speaker was up there, and behind it was us getting walked off. And our guys sat there and had to take that, and so the headache got a little, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It's just like these are the things that happen when you don't win. There it is, boys. We didn't get it done, and you can take one more look at it. And the pitchers went stretching through the hitters. I just asked the assistants. I said, you ask the hitters what they want to do. We can go hit. We cannot hit. This hitting in the cage at this time of the year mattered. It mattered to 3 guys that wanted to do it. The rest of them said, we're good. So the talk this morning was firm, and I talked to them before every game. We go over the starting pitcher, tendencies of the team, top relievers, and then I close it out, and off we go. So they knew this is no fairy tale here. You're either going to deliver the goods and go down the list of how you have to play correctly to win here, or you're not, and you'll pack up. So in a nutshell, that was part of it. And it's a tough reality, but it is a reality. And, man, they came out. They were on it.
Question right over there.
Coach Andrew Stem with the Omaha World Herald. What was the mood like this morning? Were they loose? Did they have a good warm-up? Did you feel like they were going to play one of their best games? What was kind of your impression of how they were getting ready to go into this?
Probably better than I expected at breakfast. Probably better than I expected. I had media from 7:45 to 8:30, so when I came back in, they were already in there, and it was okay. Better than I thought, and I can read the room fairly well. I think they were okay. Now, the pregame, that was pretty good. And I said, guys, you want to take ground balls during BP like you normally do, and I don't care if we come back out and do our 2-man fungo tournament type infield, outfield. I don't care. You've earned my trust, so if you think you want to chill out and eat your sandwich and just get out of the sun and chill, I could care less. All I care about is when it is 106 that you have your A game. So no in and out. But I could tell the BP was really good. The infield defense stuff, I hit the fungos the whole time. They were on it, and the outfielders were moving around, and they were moving into different positions. We have a lot of different spots we ask them to play. I saw them doing it. So they were really locked in. Now, that can happen, and you still can get your tail beat, but you could sense that the vibe and the focus was there.
Last 2 questions here and here.
Yeah, Coach, go back to Dorsey for a minute here. I know it's been an interesting year for him, had some ups and downs, and feels like in the postseason, really, I know he had those 2 rough relief outings in the AC tournament, but in
Clemson, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
2 grand slams in 2 days to the same guy? Was it the same?
Yeah, it was tough. But, to see what he's doing now, right? These 3 starts in a row in the postseason just nails. How have you been able to get him there, and how's he been able to do this?
Learning yourself and what it feels like. He's a talented kid, but Gulf Coast Community College, great. Tyler Younger, great coach. Their guys are prepared, but nobody's quite adept at this type of thing or some of those games until you've been in it a little bit. It's hard to feel how you might feel when you're on this stage, and the arm feels different, your body feels different, the adrenaline, it's new. So maybe that had something to do with it. Mastering the pitches and the breaking ball helps because, like Kershaw, the bigger kind of gets people off the riding fastball, the harder slider, and the changeup. If not, the changeup and the slider are almost the same speed. So that thing visually alters what the hitter sees and kind of feels, and then, the speed difference is big. When you had Leiter, Arnold, Whitaker, and we had Dorsey in the pen and Charles and other, it was different, so we were trying to use him out of the bullpen. So he said, Coach, I don't care. I just want to pitch, and I want to go to Omaha. That's what I want. Some guys, when you talk about leverage relief, starting you throw once a week, when you're throwing your bullpen, when you lift twice, what conditioning you're doing, your flat ground, the day you can do PFP and the day you can't. It's a little bit more streamlined, so a lot of guys kind of enjoy that because it's easier. So in the midst of what we had going early, when we had not lost a game for a third of the season and he was in relief, you saw the Clemson thing. It just worked out when Leiter went down that, hey, let's try this starting thing and maybe he can get more comfortable. And there have been some really, really good starts against some tough top national teams.
So, last question right here.
And I'm good because some of our local – I just want to make sure our local guys have had a chance, if that's okay.
We'll Virginia wait.
Oh, yeah, dang. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I thought they had already gone.
No.
Sorry.
When Wolf Folk went out, how did the approach change with Savino coming in? I know you guys saw Savino in Charlotte. Did the approach change at all? And were you impressed with how quickly you adjusted to him?
We have 9 different things that hitters choose from to try to do when they're at the plate. 9 things, and it's not rocket science. You probably turn on TV tonight and watch a game here at the big leagues. They're probably doing similar stuff, but we try to work on that. So what you need to grab as there's as many pitching changes as we've seen in these 2 games here. Just different velocity. Wolfolk's fastball was hot, and those guys talked to each other early. It was 93, 94, but they're like, that thing is riding as much as we've seen. And I don't know what really happened. But then Savino is more like slice and dice and change up and move it around a little bit. So it's just a different calibration of the feel of the fastball probably more than anything else. But the guys have taken to this, and it allows you to go to a different golf club for the shot that you need to try to hit. And these guys are like, Jaime's starting to figure it out, and Tibbs clearly figuring out, Cam Smith, the development and use of some of these approaches makes the adjustment much easier when you know what mental button to push.
Coach, congrats. And thank you for your time.
That's okay. Yes? Nope, I didn't know that.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I usually say student. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Coach and players, thank you for joining us. Coach, you could give us an opening statement, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly we're disappointed that we didn't win today and have an opportunity to advance on. But I'd first like to congratulate Florida State. They have a very, very good ball club and well coached, and they deserve to win today. The game came down to they were very, very opportunistic. First and foremost, Dorsey was outstanding. I think he was the best that he's been in weeks, and really commanded multiple pitches, was pitching on our right-handers, and he settled in and pitched a terrific ball game. And then certainly, we all talk about it here that to win in Omaha, it's individual moments, individual players that rise up. And, their left fielder certainly put 2 good swings on the ball, and, they capitalized. In the inning where they scored 4 runs, there were 2 outs, nobody on, and we didn't make a catch in right field, and they opened it up and were very, very opportunistic. And, we had our chances, and sometimes we capitalized on it, but just didn't capitalize on it enough. I feel for Joe Savino. We wouldn't be here without Joe Savino, and when Jay got injured and Joe came in, we all have a lot of confidence in him, and they just had a great approach against him with 2 outs and capitalized on it. So all that said, certainly it doesn't take away from the season that we had. it always happens. Once you get to the postseason, everybody ends their season with a loss, and until and other than the national champion, and that's the way it works. And today it was us, and we'll deal with that and move on. But it doesn't take away of how proud I am of the young men that wear our uniform and how they fight and compete every day and represent themselves, their family, and this baseball program. They represent it with class all the time. They play the game the right way, and sometimes the game can be tough and cruel to you like it was this weekend, but doesn't take away from the season that Virginia baseball had and who we will be moving forward.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll open questions for the student athletes right here.
Jeff White, VirginiaSports.com. Jay, what happened? How did you re-injure yourself, and how much did that affect you in the part of the game you continued?
Yeah, just, freak accident, I guess. Felt fine, felt great, feel great now. Just something that happened, and, I really don't know how to explain it. Just, yeah, I'm sorry. It sucks. Just, that's the way to end your season. It was the last time I pitched. In Omaha, I couldn't tell you what really happened. Just, I guess, like I said, a freak accident. Feel great now. I wish I could have kept going, but, I wanted, Coach O was ready to do what's best for the team. I have, the utmost confidence in Coach, and I'm going to follow behind him no matter what the situation is and no matter what his decision is. And quite frankly, some people don't understand that, he's done so much for me. And it just sucks to see sometimes people downing that man and criticize some decisions he makes, but nobody has ever been in his shoes. People who criticize him never been in his shoes. So, Coach O, thank you for everything. I wish, things would have turned out different, obviously, here, but like I said, people don't understand. People think it's easy to get to Omaha. People think it's easy to win in Omaha. And what some people put Coach Oak through, what we put Coach Oak through, and how he handles us, it's hard. It's hard. And nobody else understands that but us. So whatever decisions he makes going forward, I just ask y'all to please be behind him, because I promise you it's the right one.
We'll go right here.
Preston Willard, thesaber.com. Anthony, just your first time in the lineup today is postseason. What is, I guess, offensively, where is the approach kind of gone wrong, I guess, for you guys, and what were y'all seeing out there today?
Yeah, as Coach O said, he was beating us with fastballs today, which, isn't very UVA-like as far as the season goes. We take pride in our approach, and we work at it every day. And, sometimes pitchers make good pitches, but I just saw, like you said, command of three. And, once you command three, it's pretty tough at this level. You've seen it. Some of these guys last year pitch in the College World Series. The next year they're in the major leagues. So, these guys, it doesn't matter who you play when you get to this level, it's tough. But I was proud of how we grinded through and made adjustments throughout the game, and it just didn't work out for us today.
We'll go right here.
Yeah, Greg Medea from Daily Progress. Jay, the way you started the game, did you feel like you had your best stuff going, and did it get off when you started to feel the injury, or kind of where was that at?
Yeah, I think I went, 6 up, 6 down in the first 2 innings. Yeah, felt great, feel like I commanded every single pitch, at will. But yeah, I guess, whatever happened, it happened, and I felt like I could have kept going, but, I guess it has something that did have something to do with it, so.
Last question for this round.
Matt Halloran from World Baseball Network. Jake, being a two-sport athlete, I mean, just a big presence for the Charlottesville community and also the alumni as well, coast to coast, globally. What would you like to say that you left your mark here with the Cavaliers program? Obviously not going the way you guys wanted to go, but what words would you like to say on what you left your mark on with wearing the orange?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Bronco Mendenhall, Coach Tony Bennett, and I was Coach Oak. These past 3 years, I just want y'all to know that, I gave y'all everything I had on the field, off the field, in the classroom. Without y'all, I don't know where I am today without them. Obviously my family, but Coach Oak, you took a chance on a man who came to UVA, not 100% in baseball. I'm kind of glad I never had to do the hard hand calf. But, yeah, since Coach Oak's right here, I could talk on about Coach Elliott and Coach Mendenhall, but Coach Oak, since you're right here, just know that I gave you everything I had, and thank you for making me the man I am today. I wouldn't be this far without you. The talks we had when the seasons were down, I wouldn't be here without them. What you've done for me and my family.
You earned it.
I just want to thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Gentlemen, congratulations on a great season, and thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it. And Coach, we'll stay with you for a second.
Sure.
You may be excused, players. Jim, we'll start with coach. Any questions for the coaches? Coach.
Brian, you actually ended up with, 10 hits today to 7 for Florida State, but I guess 8 of them were singles and the 2 doubles were spread apart.
Yeah.
Do you need to have extra base hits, if not home runs, doubles or triples here to win in Omaha?
Not necessarily. There's been quite a few other than the Tennessee Florida State game. There hasn't been a lot of runs scored, and so we just needed to be a little bit more opportunistic. 10 runners on base, a couple of base running mistakes that you can't do at this level that gets exposed, and then they had a couple of guys step up to get big knocks. To have the big inning in the 5th inning, the 4 runs, and yeah, you need somebody to step up and hit a 2 or 3 run home run, and we just didn't get that, or that big double to drive in 2 runs, whether it be the North Carolina game or this game, and we didn't get that. It's not that the guys failed or anything like that. Like Tony said, it's high level pitching, and listen, everybody else is committed to their baseball program too, and you either do it or you don't, and we didn't do it at the right time. Right, and the 2 teams we played did. So, yeah.
Joe Healy, D1 Baseball. You obviously have intimate knowledge of what it takes to make a deep run here. Do you have a sense of where that next 1% is for you guys right now to make another deep run moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've certainly made a couple of deep runs here and haven't the last 2 years, this year and last year, and that's frustrating, disappointed. Nobody likes to go 2 and out. There's going to be 2 teams in this tournament every year that do. So it's just last year we lost 2 1-run ball games, had a 1-run ball game this year. And, it's just being a little bit better, having some guys that, when we've won in the past, we've had really, really elite pitching. always have played great defense. So it's to get a little bit better on the mound, right, and finishing innings off on the mound. And, just we got to get some position players the next time we come here that, really, really step up and have big days. And we just didn't have enough of it today. And, I don't think it's anything with regards to the program or anything. We're proud of making our 7th trip, but I feel like we absolutely know what it takes to win in Omaha. You just gotta get the guys to do it. And when you come here enough, there's going to be times that you don't perform real well. And we're really, really close. We were really close last year, and just have to be focused on being a little bit, as you said, that 1% a little bit better. And we weren't that this weekend.
Questions right here.
Two guys up here on the podium that were part of that junior class that have done a lot in this program. Yeah. How have they prepared, I guess, the younger guys in this program to kind of take that mantle moving forward?
Well, you can see that smile on my face because that junior class we have, their first year we lost in a regional at East Carolina, and then to make back-to-back trips to Omaha is pretty special. And there's some really talented, impressive young men in that group, and they have imparted their wisdom of what our baseball program is about, and that's where it starts. It's about the standards that we have in our program, and those guys, impart that wisdom on those new players every year. And so it's passed on. You see Eric Becker and Henry Ford and, the guys that are in the sophomore class, they get it, they know it, and they understand it. And that's because of the groundwork that junior class has laid. I don't know which ones of them will be back next year. We'll find that out in July. That's every program goes through that, but they have left certainly their legacy in this program because of how they carried themselves on and off the field, and they understand the concept that words matter and what they say to each other is really, really important.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Brian, how valuable was just this experience this year for some of those guys who will be back? Godbout, Ford, Hanson, and Becker, guys like that.
Yeah, incredibly valuable. Certainly yes, the experience here in Omaha, although it doesn't leave a good taste in our mouth, but more about what you have to navigate through the entire season to put yourself in the opportunity that they had, right? And yes, we didn't win in Omaha, right? We're well aware of that, but it's more about what did they learn to navigate through the entire season, the ups and downs, the little moments. That's what it's about. That's what they'll remember, right? When they get to be my age, they won't dwell on that they didn't win here in Omaha. They'll dwell on how them and their teammates stepped up at different points in the season. No better example than Jay Woolfolk. It pains me to take him out of the game, but you all saw him hobbling out there, right? And on this stage, as much as he wants to gut through it, when your velocity drops 2 or 3 miles an hour and you can see him not being moving athletically on the mound like he does when he's fine, they'll remember the lessons that they had all year in playing this program. And listen, that's what I owe them. That's what I promised them in the recruiting process. I don't promise them Omaha, right? They can look at and see the success that's happened in this program, that there's a really high percentage chance that they're going to have the opportunity to play in this great event. Our tradition has shown that. What I do promise them is that when they leave our baseball program, they will be men and they'll be able to stand on their own 2 feet and fight for what they want in life. And if they're fortunate enough to be in professional baseball, they'll be prepared, okay? And that's reflected in the amount of former Cavaliers that have played and are playing right now in the major leagues. But at its core, what I owe them is for them to become a man, right? Them to become a leader. That's what's important, because they'll all become fathers or successful people in life, right? And that's the impact that we make on them. That's why I got into it. I did not get into it to coach teams in Omaha. Coaching teams in Omaha is a byproduct of running your program the right way, right? And that's why I got into it, and that's why I continue to do that. And the day that I can't continue to impact their life on the way that they approach things and become men, then, I won't be a baseball coach anymore. But at its core, it's what I love to do.
Okay, one more question, Jim.
I know he did not have the day at the plate that he wanted, but Griff was his usual self at shortstop today. I'm assuming he's heading on after this. What has he meant as a 3-year starter at shortstop?
Program changer, right? And you might sit there and say, well, Coach, come on. Y'all have been to Omaha 5 times and won a national championship before that guy went into your program. You can still have program changers. The guy is an incredible leader. He's an incredibly impressive young man, plays the game even keel, elite level shortstop. He's the guy when you're starting to stray a little bit, he rings him back in, and that's special, right? We're going to miss him. Obviously, his play on the field is elite, but what I'm going to miss most about Griff O'Farrell is the man that he is, because he has an impact on everybody in the clubhouse every day. And candidly, he impacted me because of how he goes about his business. And, you get an opportunity in coaching to coach some really, really special young men, and Griff O'Farrell is absolutely one of them, no question.
Coach, once again, thank you for your time, and congratulations on a great year.
Thank you.